Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl is one of the most profound and impactful books of the 20th century, blending existential philosophy with psychological insight. It is based on Frankl's experiences as a Holocaust survivor and the development of his psychological theory, logotherapy. Published in 1946, Man's Search for Meaning is divided into two parts. In Part 1, Frankl recounts his harrowing experiences in Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. He explores how the prisoners, including himself, coped with the extreme suffering and deprivation. What sets Frankl's memoir apart from other Holocaust accounts is his analysis of the psychological states of those imprisoned and his insight into how some managed to find meaning even in the most horrific conditions. Part 2 of the book introduces Frankl's concept of logotherapy, a form of existential analysis that emphasizes the importance of finding purpose or meaning in life, even amid suffering. One of the book's central ideas is that life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most miserable ones. Frankl's famous quote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves," encapsulates this belief. For Frankl, suffering itself does not destroy a person's sense of meaning, but it is how a person responds to that suffering that defines their ability to live meaningfully. Another key idea is the assertion of personal freedom. Despite being subjected to unimaginable cruelty, Frankl insists that individuals have the freedom to choose their attitude towards circumstances. He reflects on how, in the camps, some prisoners gave away their last piece of bread, showing that even in the face of suffering, they could choose compassion over despair. Unlike Freud's emphasis on the pursuit of pleasure and Adler's focus on the will to power, Frankl argued that the fundamental human drive is the will to meaning. He believed that the search for a higher purpose, not merely survival, drives people to persevere and thrive in life. Frankl's work sits within the existential philosophical tradition, but with a unique twist. Existentialists such as Sartre and Camus often saw life as inherently meaningless, and human beings were left to create meaning in a chaotic, indifferent universe. Frankl, while acknowledging the absurdity and suffering in life, suggested that meaning is something to be discovered rather than invented. His perspective is more hopeful and humanistic, asserting that life's meaning can be found through relationships, personal values, creativity, and even suffering. Frankl challenges nihilism, the belief that life is meaningless, by asserting that humans are inherently responsible for seeking out and fulfilling their own purpose. This elevates individual responsibility as a moral imperative. Rather than succumbing to despair, Frankl's philosophy encourages individuals to actively engage with their lives and make conscious choices to create meaning, no matter how difficult their circumstances. Logotherapy is the therapeutic method Frankl developed, which focuses on helping individuals discover meaning in their lives. In contrast to psychoanalytic theories that emphasize past traumas or the unconscious, logotherapy is future-oriented. It seeks to assist individuals in finding purpose, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable adversity. Logotherapy has had a significant impact on psychotherapy, especially in contexts where individuals confront existential crises, such as dealing with terminal illness, grief, or life transitions. It has been particularly influential in the development of existential psychology, counseling, and pastoral care. Frankl's theory also includes the idea of self-transcendence, which means that fulfillment comes not from focusing on oneself, but from directing attention towards something larger than the self, whether that be another person, a cause, or a purpose. Frankl's emphasis on meaning as central to human flourishing has resonated deeply with positive psychology, which focuses on the strengths and virtues that allow individuals and communities to thrive. Figures like Martin Seligman, the father of modern positive psychology, have drawn on Frankl's work, particularly the idea that meaning and purpose are essential components of well-being. Frankl's exploration of how suffering can lead to personal growth and resilience has had a profound effect on understanding how people cope with trauma. His work laid the groundwork for concepts like post-traumatic growth, the idea that individuals can not only recover from trauma but also achieve a higher level of psychological functioning through it. Frankl's ideas also had a deep influence on existential therapy, a branch of psychotherapy that explores the human condition in terms of existential givens such as death, freedom, isolation, and meaning. His focus on meaning and personal responsibility became foundational to this therapeutic approach. Man's Search for Meaning has sold millions of copies worldwide, translated into numerous languages, and is regularly cited in discussions about resilience, purpose, and the human condition. It has been a beacon of hope for individuals facing difficult circumstances, whether in war, illness, or personal crises, and has been used by therapists, educators, and religious leaders to inspire others. The book's moral message, that human dignity and meaning can persist even in the face of oppression, has had broad implications for movements focused on human rights, social justice, and reconciliation. It offers a perspective on suffering that doesn't diminish the reality of injustice but emphasizes human agency in confronting it. While Frankl's work has had a global reach, some critics suggest that his concepts of meaning and purpose are framed through a largely Western, individualistic lens, which may not align with more collectivist cultures' understandings of meaning, suffering, or resilience. Viktor Frankl has left an indelible mark on both psychology and philosophy by addressing the fundamental question of how human beings find purpose in the face of suffering. Its existential foundation, practical therapeutic applications, and moral philosophy have resonated across cultures and disciplines. Frankl's emphasis on human agency, resilience, and the transformative power of meaning continues to inspire countless individuals and professionals, providing a roadmap for navigating the complexities of human existence.